Today, we're going to talk about enriching personal relationship. Before we start, I'm going to give some brief introduction about this topic. This chapter explores the world of teenagers in their personal relationship. It touches on the dynamics of friendship, attraction, love, and commitment. It helps promote an understanding of teenage relationship, including the acceptable and unacceptable expressions of attractions. Now, let's move on to teenage friendship. During the middle and late teen years, friendship is extremely important during adolescence. Teen friendships provide young people with a sense of acceptance and belonging. They promote the development of compassion, caring, and empathy. Furthermore, teen friendships play an important role in developing an identity outside of the family. And these adolescent friendships can be extremely beneficial in assisting teenagers to weather difficult times. Our circle of friends is our special place where laughter, tears, and fears are shared. In addition, the bond is more treasured and valued. Now, let's move on to peer influence. First, what is peer influence? Peer influence occurs when you choose to do something you would normally do because you want to be accepted and valued by your friends. It isn't always or only about doing things against your will. Peer pressure and influence can be positive. For example, your child may be encouraged to be more assertive, try new activities, or become more involved in school. However, it can also be negative. Some teenagers may choose to try activities they would not normally be interested in, such as smoking or engaging in antisocial behavior. Peer pressure and influence may result in teenagers including selecting the same clothing, hairstyle, or jewelry as their friends, listening to the same music or watching the same TV shows with their friends, changing how they speak or the words they use, taking risks or breaking rules, working harder at school or working less hard.
To minimize the effects of peer pressure, the following guidelines may be useful. Maintain close family ties and cling to positive values taught by parents. Introduce your friends to your parents and siblings. Be open and share activities or preoccupations with your family members. Indulge in fruitful and creative activities such as sports, music, and social civic concerns. Cultivate good relations with parents, school teachers, school counselors, and other significant role models. Enhance self-confidence. Believe in your capabilities. Practice good decision making. Think 100 times before deciding. Weigh the pros and cons and consider the consequences of your actions. And when in doubt, resist the temptation and say no. Interpersonal attraction refers to forces or elements that make people like each other. It is a positive attitude or fondness that draws people toward each other. It may take the form of liking, friendship, infatuation, or love. Why do people get attracted to each other? What are the factors that influence attraction? Number one is physical attractiveness. The appreciation of beauty may vary depending on the eyes of the beholder. Physical attractiveness is a personal preference measured based on different standards. Some people get attracted to the eyes, height, build, and other physical attributes. Physical attractiveness goes with a subjective assessment of beauty and other aesthetic characteristics. People choose whom they believe to be attractive and reflect their own physical appearance. Number two is physical proximity. Geographical locations such as place or residence, school, or work significantly affects interpersonal attraction. Classic research conducted by psychologists Leon, Stanley, and Kurt Bach revealed that teens whose dwelling places are adjacent to each other become friends compared to those whose quarters are distant from each other. This observation suggests the importance of proximity during the early phases of interaction, such as camaraderie. Similarly, in a classroom or workplace setting, those seated together tend to build friendships compared with those seated apart from one another. Physical proximity increases attraction. Friendships are formed which may develop into love eventually. In a similar context, long-distance relationships are difficult to form and maintain. Number three is similarity. People appreciate those similar to them in terms of opinions, interests, personality, and background. The moment they find out their similarities, friendship develops. As more similarities are discovered, the level of attraction deepens. The consonants or likeness that bond two individuals can probably lead to an increased level of desirability. In a similar matter, people might become attracted to those who have facial features similar to theirs or to a person they've loved before. Reciprocal liking. People have a strong tendency to like those who like them as well. This can be the outcome of one's perception of being agreeable and pleasant. If a person feels great when somebody whom she or he likes, it is presumed that there is a higher form of attractiveness towards the other person. Number 5 is familiarity. As people get familiar with each other, they feel more comfortable with each other and the level of liking becomes higher. Psychologist Robert revealed that the repetitive presentation of variety of stimuli increases liking for them.
Liking and loving. The differences between love and infatuation. Teenagers often mistake infatuation for love, especially yung mga teenager na mentally unstable at may attachment issues. But there is a great difference between the two. Infatuation is described as the emotional impulse of love untested by time or circumstance. Infatuation, ito yung hindi nagtatagal yung pagkagusto mo sa kanya. Ito yung nararamdaman mo kasi siya yung andyan para sa'yo. Nako-comfort ka niya the way sa kagustuhan mo. Infatuated ka lang sa kanya. Gusto mo yung things na ginagawa niya at hinahanap-hanap yung attention tsaka affection niya. But the truth is, you're not in love. You just like how he or she treat you kasi hindi mo nararanasan yun minsan. Inaapura mo yung mga bagay-bagay at nagiging idealistic ka. Love, according to Aaron and Aaron 1991, is a set of thoughts, feelings, and actions associated with the desire to enter or maintain a close relationship with a specific person. So, ang love ay consistent at nagro-grow kayo together. Kahit na makita mo yung imperfection ng isa't isa, ay kaya nyo itong tanggapin. Siya lang ang para sa'yo at ikaw lang ang para sa kanya. Which means, hindi na kayo naghahanap pa ng iba at kontento na kayo sa isa't isa. Love is a responsibility dahil you commit to each other. Kaya nyong maghintay until dumating yung right time. There are instances when infatuation advances to real love such that it becomes complicated to identify the distinction. So there is a table 3.1 in your book, page 114, which concludes the differences between infatuation and love. We have the fairy tale or infatuation. Short-lived, with emotional ups and downs, indecisive, restless, argumentative moves with little irritants. Highlights attractiveness or na-attract ka lang sa physical appearance niya. Receives selfish, self-centered, shows emotion, more on physical, flourishes on perfection, or gusto mo lang makita yung gusto mong makita sa kanya at hindi mo kayang matanggap yung imperfection niya. And then, anticipates contentment, sees what the other person does, feels the same way for other people, or yung nararamdaman mo sa kanya ay nararamdaman mo din or nafe-feel mo din sa iba at hindi lang sa kanya. Jealous, idealistic, evades negatives, glosses over arguments, and brings out jealousy and obsessiveness. The real thing or love grows with time, consistent, loyal, has the right direction, keeps calm in difficult and trying times, stresses inner beauty, provides, considers the partner, self-regulated, manifests commitment, transcends the physical, accepts imperfection, expects to work at happiness, total approval of the other person, direct feelings to the other person only, trusting, realistic, works through problems, survives arguments, and lastly, improves overall disposition. Ancient Greeks Gregory 2012 say there are four types of love as follows. Number 1, philia is love between friends. Philia connotes friendship. It is the type of love shared with friends in school, organizations, or community. So, philia, ito yung feeling ng love na mahanap mo through your peers in school, organizations, or in your community. Sa mga kapitbahay mo, ganon. Nagkakaroon kayo ng bonding together and same interests. The relationship involves getting along well and collaborating with each other. Second, eros is the sense of being in love. It is described as passionate love between two individuals. It transcends friendship. The affection is romantic in nature. Eros was the Greek god of love. So, eros, ito yung Greek word for erotic love. Or more precisely, passionate and physical desire. Sa eros naman ay more on intimate and passionate relationship sa isang tao. Example na lang ng relationship ng isang husband and wife. Third is storge, is affectionate love for the family. It is love that is shared naturally. Sa storge, ito yung affection mo sa pamilya mo. Mahanap mo siya through your family. Ito yung pagmamahal mo sa mama mo, sa papa mo, or even sa iba mong relatives. Natural lang ito na maramdaman mo sa isang pamilya. Number 4, agape. Agape is unconditional love. Agape suggests something divine, devotional, and sacrificing. It describes a love that is pure and selfless. So, agape in Christianity, ito naman ay the highest form of love. It is divine. The kind of love and action that shows empathy, extends the desire for good of the beloved, wants the best for the other person, extends help or demonstrate good intention. Ito ay para sa lahat, hindi lamang sa kaibigan mo, sa family mo. Na-apply din ito even sa strangers if you want the best for them.
Robert Sternberg, a psychologist, developed the triangular theory of love which encompasses the human experience of love. Meron siyang sabihin dito na parang commitment refers to one willingness to stay with a certain person. Parang willingness mo mag-stay sa isang tao through ups or down. Next, intimacy refers to how connected, bonded, and close one is to someone. This is also like closeness mo sa isang tao o connection mo sa kanila. Next, passion relates to one attraction to a person in romantic and erotic scenes. Ito naman yung simple way attraction mo sa ibang tao, like attractive ka sa kanya. Ganun. Leaking. This is described as having extreme closeness without obligation or promise. And simple way, like simpleng pagkagusto lang sa isang tao. Next, compassionate love. This is how individuals regard their family members. This means parang deep yung nararamdaman nyo sa isa't isa. Next, empty love. Here obligation is present but there is neither desire nor looseness. Means mahal nyo yung isa't isa pero kulang sa efforts at assurance na binibigay nyo. Fatuous love. Intimacy, it was characterized fatuous love. This is obligation and cravings but no closeness. Like parang mahal nyo yung isa't isa pero di siya ready sa isang commitment pero nangangako siya. Infatuation. What others say as love at first sight is what in infatuation is all about parang crush mo lang siya kasi matalino siya pero di mo naman talaga siya gusto. Next, romantic love. Romantic love comprises a short-lived shivery feeling and association but parang may disappear if meaningful emotional relationship is not sustained because of lack of obligation. Parang ito din yung is like nobela and teleserye. Perfect love sila. Next is consummate love. Sternberg refers to consummate love as the perfect type of love situated at the middle of the triangle. In simple way, perfect love at di sila naging parang setting for less sila sa isa't isa.
10 Factors Why People Fall in Love by David Levy. The first factor is similarity. Individuals that are similar to one another tend to get along well. The second factor is reciprocal liking. People value those who like them. They like the sense of being adored. Desirable characteristics. These are characteristics that represent a wide range of desirable qualities that individuals find appealing in others. This may refer to physical characteristics or a charming personality. The fourth factor is social acceptability. This aspect addresses the cultural norms and limiting factors that people discuss while deciding who to fall in love with. This has something to do with special impacts such as economic class and age range. The fifth factor is need fulfillment. People fall in love with people who can fulfill their desire. This requirement may be related to social position, power, and security. The sixth factor is feeling in love. The bonding moment that comes with falling in love is best described as being in an exciting, stimulating, or even stressful scenarios that makes your heart race. The seventh factor is special appeal. The concept deals with the unique and attractive characteristics that people find lovable or unusual in the people they fall in love with, such as charming cheeks and expressive eyes, or a great sense of humor. The eighth factor is relationship readiness. Psychological preparedness affects falling in love, emphasizing the importance of individuals being emotionally ready for the challenges and commitments that come with a relationship. The ninth factor is alone time. Falling in love requires spending time together exclusively. It is easier to bring people closer together when they spend time together alone. The final and tenth factor is an air of mystery. There are moments when people find themselves pulled to mysterious people. This might be a reference to personal traits that some find interesting or challenging.
Delightful elements of love relationships. Love is a truly wonderful, colorful, and exciting human emotion. Specialists have discovered three main elements of love relationships. Firstly, attraction. This is the special blend that keeps people together. It is that wonderful feeling of wanting to be together. To me, attraction in love can be influenced by shared interest, compatibility, and a deep emotional connection. Secondly, we have closeness. This describes the attachment that glues people together as they share fun moments, exchange ideas, and tell stories, which are activities they do not usually do with other people. Closeness in a relationship is an understanding and a sense of being emotionally bonded, and it can be manifested through open communication, trust, and a feeling of emotionally supported by each other. Lastly, we have commitment. This describes one conviction to hold on to the relationship no matter what. This constitutes a promise with the other person through thick and thin. Commitment involves a dedicated and unwavering pledge to prioritize, support, and actively contribute to the growth and well being of one another, fostering a deep sense of loyalty and connection. Forging commitment. Commitment is all about wanting and deciding to remain in the relationship despite challenges that get in the way of two people in love. There are also adolescent partners who promise commitment while in high school and remain together for long. Forging commitment involves building a strong and lasting bond through mutual dedication and trust. And there are also relationships that do not last. This is not to say that teens are not capable of commitment. Adolescents can keep on discovering and exploring what they really want in life. One reason for adolescents having shorter relationships is the fact that for those in the middle adolescence, in particular boys associations, are commonly based on physical desirability. When they reach the late adolescent stage at 20 or so, what matters more for them is good inner qualities. Closeness, sharing, and confiding things become more important. Most girls and boys at this stage value support, communication, and desirability. They begin to contemplate devoting themselves to a lasting relationship.
Manual respect. A relationship has to build on manual respect for it to flourish. Trust. Trust is an important component in any relationship. Honesty. People in relationship should be honest with each other as much as possible. Support. Support should be given during good or bad times. Fairness and equality. A give and take approach should be established in relationship. Separate identities. A healthy relationship allows compromises. Good communication. Maintaining an open line of communication is one way to promote a healthy relationship among young people.
What makes a relationship unhealthy? A relationship starts to become unhealthy when both parties think only of themselves. Making one do something against his or her will is a sign of disrespect. Likewise, when a person starts to be controlling and becoming physically, emotionally, or verbally abusive, the relationship ceases to be pleasant. It is never advisable to stay in a relationship that involves offensive and violent behaviors. The warning signs of an unhealthy relationship include the following: making verbal insults, using nasty put downs, hitting, slapping, and beating the other person, shouting mean language, preventing one's partner from seeing his or her own circle of friends, forcing one's partner to smoke, drink alcohol, or use drugs, compelling one's partner to engage in sexual activity, ordering one's partner to keep secrets from parents or teachers, involving one's partner in extortion or blackmail. While some teens insist that possessiveness, anger, and bouts of violence are uncontrolled expressions of love, these are actually the opposite of ideally romantic and selfless feelings. No one deserves physical, verbal, or sexual abuse. So here is why some teenage relationships are so difficult. There are times when keeping a relationship proves to be difficult. Here are some reasons for this. Adolescents struggle for self-esteem. Partners may demand too much from each other. Teenagers are not prepared for intense emotional relationships. There are differences in each other's personality. And last but not least, partners find difficulty in adjusting to each other's personality. So here is why some relationships end. There are times when young people have to put an end to the relationship. Love is a sensitive and delicate thing that needs to be cared for and nurtured. Here are the reasons why, though why youthful love does not flourish into a lasting relationship. Let's say falling out of love. It's kind of like how your partner kind of not finds you attractive na, parang let's say lost interest, inconsiderate towards the partner's concerns, too many demands, too much jealousy, possessiveness, and obsession. Distance. Okay, parang most of you already know this naman, yung long distance relationship, di ba? Long distance relationship could be difficult due to some conditions and I guess lack of meeting each other, I don't know. Miscommunication, misunderstanding, loss of interest in each other. So, loss of interest, it's just like falling out of love. You guys basically not interested in one another na. Taking advantage of the other person. So, this is like, let's say kung rich yung babae, tas poor yung lalaki. like, there are some cases, alright, where, let's just say, parang ginagamit mo yung partner mo for money and I guess emotional pleasure. Parang you may think it's love, but it really isn't. Okay. Personality differences, incompatibility, cheating, or having simultaneous relationships, emotional immaturity or unpreparedness, restrictions from the family. Okay, wait lang. Restrictions from the family. Yes, I have this too. It's kind of like, yes, your family's trying to protect you and all, but they're just trying to tell you to focus on your studies, or I guess when they have a bad feeling about the person. Conflict with work or school schedules. Realization that studies should be given priority over relationships. Yung mga study first Wide gap in socio-economic status, forcing one's partner to engage in sexual activities, differences in opinion about completing one's education, and setting career goals, cultural, religious, or ideological differences. So this one, it's basically, let's say, a Catholic dating a Mormon. It's about religion. It can be difficult naman. And inviting one's partner to try illegal drugs. Relationships with other people cannot flourish if one is not willing or able to devote enough time, effort, and attention to keeping them. Needless to say, relationships are better nurtured through selfless gestures, and mutual respect and fidelity. There are other ingredients to a healthy relationship that can be best worked out by young people to give a way to better understand them and have a long-lasting relationship, such as honesty, sacrifice, forgiveness, wisdom, patience, and communication. These elements can help them strengthen their bond. Young individuals can help each other enhance their strengths and improve their weaknesses. They can widen their circle of friends and explore the world with excitement and fun. They can both journey and learn new things as they grow and mature to build on a career that they want to pursue in the future. Andre, your turn.
Options for those not in a relationship. Teens can still have fun and enjoy life even if they are not in any relationship. The following are some suggestions on what teenagers can do. hone talent in music, dancing, or any other creative craft. Develop oneself, boost one's confidence, and bring out one's good qualities. Devote time, reach out, and get acquainted with many people. Volunteer for some socio-civic activities or community outreach programs. Value friends and have fun together. Share more quality time with one's family. So, meaning that even if you're not in a relationship with someone, even if you're not in a relationship with someone, okay lang naman okay lang naman yun. Pwede ka pa naman mag-enjoy sa buhay yung pwede, mas madami kang free time na pag gawin ng pinang gusto mo sa buhay. Moving on, losing a relationship is very painful. Some breakups can even be traumatic. Young people may find it difficult to move on after a failed relationship, particularly if it is their first. Adverse consequences may be felt in one's academic performance, eating habits, sleeping patterns, socialization, and even personal grooming. The loneliness, depression, and grieving time vary from one person to the other. Some count years before they are able to get back to their normal self and gather strength to enter into a new relationship again. Young people need assurance that they are valued, cared for, and loved at this stage. Otherwise, their self-esteem may suffer. A strong support system, such as the family, a circle of friends, and a group of professionals can be a significant of help. Some teens may try therapy if necessary. Coping mechanisms involving creative pursuits such as dancing, singing, or drawing can also help. So personally, I'm in a state of that I can't move on, so I cannot relate to this. So my advice ko lang is that mag-move on ka na kasi kailangan